What's up, everyone? We're back here on a Saturday. We're going to continue working on this downpipe thing. We got our tight radius pie cuts in from Tacking. Got 3 packs of them. We probably only need 2 packs because 2 packs is going to make 90 degrees, but I ordered 3 because we run into another little hiccup. I showed you last week in the video of this sweet little exhaust tip. We was looking at getting 3D welded. Get tongue tied again. So we have a friend that works at this company, and we sent some files to him that we had drew up of this tip. Obviously that's where the printout come from. And he sent it to the quoting department. Well, I try to not get anybody in the middle of trying to do any kind of favors or anything like that, because I know how it turns out whenever we do favors for people. We end up getting screwed, and it just turns into a mess if you try to do too many favors. So I try to not put anybody in that position. So he just turned it over to the quoting department, kind of hands off. Well, they came back with a quote, and I don't think that we're gonna spend $2,700 on just this tip. As cool as it may sound, and as cool as something one-off on my car would be, I just gotta put that money somewhere else. $2,700 is a lot of money for a downpipe tip. So it's not going to have the logo in there as of right now. We might try to build something similar out of flat, but I don't want to get too crazy because I don't want it to end up looking like garbage, because we're trying to replicate something that kind of needs to be 3D printed or something. So we'll see what happens there, but for right now we're just going to go with the flow. We're going to get these off the turbo. We've got our other pipe over here. All the tape is just about come loose from the weekend. It's not tight anymore. See, that piece come loose. We're going to replace that with a straight piece of titanium. We've got a brand new blade on our saw. And we're just going to run it out like we did last week and make it meet up with the end of this pipe. And once we get there, then we will continue it out the car and maybe even tack it together and just see what a round tip ends up looking like. I would really like something like we started out planning to do, but it'll just depend on what we can do clean. So we'll see how it goes. We're going to get these pie cuts tacked together or taped together and hold them up, see how they fit. And then we're going to start tacking some pie cuts together. So let's go. Everything's taped together now. You can see we just lined the welds up for the pie cut. A lot tighter radius than what the other one was. I didn't realize it was so much different. when you just look at the two pie cuts laid together, they don't look a lot different, but you notice the distance right here on the inside is wider. These 1Ds are 4.5 degrees on each side, so a total of 9 degrees. Let's hold it up here and see what it looks like. Oh yeah, much better. And we might even have to add a couple more to get it to come around. So we're just gonna hold our mock-up pipe up there and see. Because at 90 right there, it's gonna go right into the tire. So what we can do, set that there, get our aluminum mock-up piece, and make it mimic the angle of that. See, it's a little bit taller than my mock-up. My mock-up was actually a little bit tighter. But what we need, that's why I ordered 3 packs. What we need to do is add a couple more pieces to this to make it come on around. Maybe even 3 pieces to it. Make it come on around and match the angle of this. Because right now, we're pretty close on where it stops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It took 11 pieces, so those are a lot tighter on the aluminum. But it's still gonna end up being good. We just gotta put the 3 pieces on there to match the angle here. So that's what we'll do right quick. Okay, we got it matched. You can see the titanium is slightly taller than the other one, which is fine. As long as it ends up being the same angle direction here, I think we got plenty of room, but that's pretty close. Look at the angle there, it's the same. Let's hold it up and see what we got. We might even need to do one more. We'll just have to hold our other pipe up there and see. To put the camera down and grab it right quick. Let's set the camera down up here on the intake. Stay. There we go. Moment of truth. I think one more pie cut. Maybe not even that. Maybe we can come about 3 pie cuts in and rotate them to change the direction. I think that's what we'll do. Come about where my index finger is and start rotating them until we get them in the direction we want to go. That'll make it have a nice a nice flow to it here. So let's do that. All right, a long mock-up process, but after many trial and errors, I think I am happy with the way it routes right here. I've got the tire turned all the way, and I've still got clearance. Not a whole lot of clearance, so I can stick my finger between there, and it's not going to get any closer than that. So what I'm gonna do now, because it's getting to where it's too much stuff taped together and things might sag and different things, I'm gonna take this section coming off the turbo and I'm gonna tack all these pieces together where they will be exactly right. And I pretty much got it figured out. I just have to, well, it's hard to hold the camera and do this. This piece is going to come down like this, and then it's going to look pretty sexual coming out right there. So let's tack this piece together, and that way we can continue without worrying about it moving. Okay, I got everything tacked together. You can probably see in the video, I was struggling in a few places right there, having so many pieces taped together, trying to squeeze them tight where they would fuse whenever I pop the arc on it. So it tried to burn away in a couple of places. I just sanded those places off, back flush, and put new tacks on everything. Started using a little bit of filler rod that helped. See, we got plenty of tire clearance there. Got a nice flow to it. So now we've got our other piece, and we're gonna get that on there. And it's looking like if we add one of these, our last tight radius pie cut to this, coupled with that piece right there, it's gonna put us dead in line with this. Now the only problem is we're gonna have to order some more titanium, unless we want to get froggy again and try to cut about 3 big radius pie cuts right here at the end. But then that's only going to get us flush with the bumper, and then we'll have to do some type of a tip. So we're going to get this other piece tacked together and then get it tacked to the bigger piece, and then we'll address the connection piece here and see where it goes. All right, everything is tacked, and it is tacked 3 times to ensure it don't fall apart. We've got also all of our weld seams are on the bottom. We flipped our bends around where they was. You can see the weld seams for the pie cuts. Way only the clean pipe showing up top. We'll probably have all this polished anyway, but you know, just trying to do the best we can whenever we build it the first time. Pretty happy with how that turned out. Really snaky looking. Look, it almost has my initial S. So we're going to get it on the car and show you how it lined up. Okay, we got the pipe on the car. You can hear the bandsaw going in the background. I'm attempting to cut some more pie cuts with a different method, and we'll see how it works out. I'll tell you about it here in a minute. But our pipe has turned out great. fits great, looks great, has a nice flow to it coming out. Right around the turn radius of the tire. Lines right up with where our 3D tip was going to do. So now we got a different idea. We're going to kind of move forward with that, and I'll probably tell you about that in the next video. We've got to get some test pieces cut out and stuff. But for right now, we're going to try to continue this out and try to get finished today before I have to leave. We're going to need like 3 pie cuts here and 1 very slight one, which is being cut right now, to bring it back up flat or to get it back going in this direction. Let's go over here to the bandsaw. And so far I don't hear it popping and cracking, so it's a good sign. You can see up inside there, I put a 4-inch piece of aluminum pipe, wrapped a ton of layers of saran wrap around it, super tight, because that stuff's kind of sticky, and put it up in the pipe and squeeze the crap out of it with the vise. So hopefully it don't just misshape the pie cut that much, since the whole pipe is evenly distorted, but we'll see how it comes out. Now the next thing I'm going to do, since I have this little fixture here to locate the outlet, I'm going to project this down onto the floor of where the edge of this is. Make a mark all the way across, because I'm gonna flip this thing around and use this as the lineup point, or as the target point here. Make sure I'm good there. Well, this isn't the best square for this. Get us pretty close right there. Okay, now and flip it around. I should have actually found the center line opening first, which we're going to get pretty close. We're going to call that right there the center. There. Flip it around, because we want our elevation to stay the same. That there. Line up the center lines again. And there we go. This is our new fixture point. We will trace that on the floor where we don't lose it. Ruin a good marker. Okay, so we're going from here to here is the goal now. Let's go check out the bandsaw. We actually got through that piece flawlessly. I just hope it didn't distort the pie cut, which it doesn't look like it did. Looks like it's pretty even all the way around. One side was straight. So, of course, the pipe is ovaled. We'll have to squeeze it a little bit to get it back straight. But we're going to rotate this thing and cut 3 or 4 more while we're at it. Fast forward about an hour, we was able to cut some pieces on the bandsaw and get the pipe finished up, or at least outside the bumper. See, it flows around here. There's a bunch of different angles here. Well, all the pie cuts are the same, but it's weird because it goes down, then has to flatten out, then rotate around. You see on the bottom, because the way the front bumper is, it's really odd shaped, and to get it out flush with the bumper, that's how it had to be. I still have to squeeze some of them pieces to get them lined up really good. They're just a couple of tacks on now, but going around, and then basically from here to here it's straight, but then it has to kick up and become 90 degrees to the ground again, and then start going out to the side. So that's why these two pie cuts are kind of halfway twisted. That way from outside the car it looks like it's level. I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. I'm going to get Joey back here to help me put the front bumper on, and we're going to see how it looks with the nose on the car, see how lined up we are. But you can see it lined right up with our fixture there, and hopefully it'll look that good when we put the front on the car. Well, I forgot to do the video with the front on. Joey's over here working on production stuff today. I got him to help me set the front on, and the pipe lined up exactly like we intended it to, so good that we might just leave it flush. After all that talk about getting the tip done and getting worked up about that, I usually don't like a flush cut, but this looks pretty good. And here are some pictures you can check out. So see, it blends in really good. Also, another thing, the mailman brought us some stuff from Robert at AEI. I haven't said much about this because I haven't got the whole combo together until now, but he got all this bracketry worked up for us. Let me spin the camera around where I can get it down here. We've got the Little Bertha Nostalgia. This is a 19 gallon per minute fuel pump. Got the daily pulley system on here. This is his fuel pump mount. You've got multiple bolt locations you can put it at, where you can raise it up, lower it, whatever. We have it up where it'll clear all the steering and everything. He also got us this trick little crank pickup bracket with integrated timing pointer to fit just to our combo. He also provided a custom crank mandrel to go along with all of it. So that's our cabinet full of stuff. There's our balancer. All that'll go right together and all line up, be super clean. He always helps us out, get everything laid out as far as the fuel pumps or timing pointers or alternators, you know, various other things. But that's it. I'll probably make a time-lapse video of welding this downpipe. It's going to take a long time. I've not dealt much with titanium, so I may practice a lot on some pieces that we've got left over from one job we did about a year or so ago. It's similar wall, or it's the same wall thickness, so I can pretty well get my amps and everything right, my travel speed down pat and everything before I jump in on this $800 worth of material. Now that's our cost. We get a discount from Tacking. I think it's about 15 or 20%. But there's $800 right there of material. Well, this is the only thing we didn't use that much of a straight. But that gives you an idea how expensive that stuff is. This downpipe, like it sits right there, the flange and all, weighs 3.5 pounds. They're very, very lightweight stuff. But I'm happy with what we got accomplished this weekend. So next weekend we might weld this thing up and get into something else. See you then.